Hi, I'm Jenny Miller. I am the Director of Development at Maui Humane Society. Maui Humane Society is the only open admission shelter on the island, and what that means is that our doors are open for any domestic pet that is in need. Oftentimes we receive animals in really dire emergency situations. They may have been hit by a car or attacked by a pig or a dog bite, and nobody knows who their owner is, but people bring them to us, Good Samaritans do, and we give the medical treatment that we can to save these animals. So it's not just pets, it's also unowned pets as well. It might be feral cats or community cats that have issues. We take them in as well. So we care for about 4,400 animals a year. Last year we spayed and neutered over 8,000 animals. We transferred over 500 to the mainland on our Wings of Aloha, and we had over 2,000 animals put into foster care, and those are both Wings of Aloha and our foster homes are life-saving programs that help us to save more animals. The charity walk is really important to Maui Humane Society. We've participated in it for at least 16 years, as far as I could look back in the records. And it's an amount that we actually budget for as we do our annual budgets. We expect this income and this revenue to be part of our overall budget in helping to save lives. We really depend on the fundraising that the hotels and the Tourism Association does for us. It's part of what we need in order to survive. It actually helps us to save lives. That money is essential to our operating purposes. So here at the Maui Humane Society, what goes on behind the gates is actually a really impressive feat. When an animal comes in, whether it's owned or unowned, whether it's been found or it's being surrendered by a family, the first thing we do is do a full vet examination. We give it a flea and tick medicine, we do a heart guard test, we make sure that it's clean, its nails are cut. Once it gets the clean bill of health, it goes onto our adoption floor. Most of the animals that come in here, they have problems. They're not being surrendered because they're perfect animals. They're lovely animals, but oftentimes they may have behavioral problems. We're seeing a real increase in people who are surrendering animals because their estimated vet bill is too high, or their animal is getting old and they're worried that the medical bills are going to be more than they can handle. Especially after COVID, we're finding a real increase in these kinds of surrenders. And it's really sad because this is families who have to give up an animal that they really care about. So we have a new program, it's called Forever Pets, and it's a community outreach program. We're able to give pet owners all sorts of resources if it helps keep that animal in the home. Is it food? Do they need help with secure fencing or with an outdoor kennel? Do they need flea and tick prevention? Do they need us to assist with any types of medical treatment? There may be a possibility in the future for us to help them that way. So whatever we can do to keep a pet in the home, that's what we want to do. We get a lot of animals from wonderful backgrounds as well as a lot of neglect cases. And so we have done about 2,000 surgeries last year, and these are surgeries above and beyond what a typical shelter would provide to an animal. So these animals need life-saving surgeries, and through the Hope Fund, which is 100% donor funded, we're able to pay for those surgeries. So funds from the charity walk are essential in providing the vet care necessary to heal these animals and give them a chance. Oftentimes these animals would have nobody else, and they have nobody advocating for them. We're really the only resource who can provide them with the level of care that they need in order to have a second chance in a new home or be transferred to the mainland and to have a little adventure on the way. So our staff is about 60 right now, and at any one time we're caring for between 200 and 500 animals. We've seen a really huge increase in the number of animals in our care over the last 6 months, and it's being felt shelter-wide across the nation. There's just some sort of weird thing that's happening post-COVID where we're receiving a lot of animals. We have had over 100 dogs and over 400 cats and kittens in foster care. Right now we have 100 kittens available, but we have another 300 that are just waiting to be old enough to spay and neuter. Before any of our animals leave the shelter, they are spayed and neutered. They're given a clean bill of health with a vet check. They're given flea meds, they're given heartworm tests, they're given all of the things that they need to start over. If somebody needs supplies, they go with collars, they go with leashes, they also go with food. We do everything we can to set these animals up for success, but we also want to create an environment where there aren't any barriers to adoption. So we have an open adoption policy. A lot of the funding goes to our vet care. Again, we do so many surgeries on animals that come into us in a crisis situation. We have a hospital, it's always full, whether it's sick kittens, an animal that's been in an accident, or any other type of thing. We see cases that you wouldn't believe what's happening, and it's really amazing to see our staff come together and help this animal pull through. These are our success stories, which we have thousands and thousands of.